I could be wrong about everything. I say everybody understands I'll be right for the most times, and it's because I foresee things and I think things through. But nigga, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I wasn't even gonna be on my phone that day. I woke up, so I hadn't even been on my phone at all that day. And my girl was like, "See what Matty posted?" I was like, "No." She's like, you might want to go see it. You've been posting little subliminals the last 2 days. I ain't said shit to you. Now you really want my attention. You deleted it. That was your first mistake. You can't stand on business. You look like a goofy. Sorry. I'm like, you already lost the tournament now. I don't care what you say. Y'all gotta eat this. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are people that you're my personal fans, and then you turned and did what you did. You can't do something to someone and then not expect for God to put them on a pedestal when you became their enemy for no reason at all.
Yo, welcome back to the Heatin' Up Podcast, the hottest podcast in the game. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, follow, rate, all that good stuff. But again, thank you for tuning into another episode. We finally got you our first guest of 2024, and it's a very special guest because our guest today is one of the hottest artists in Arizona. He's released numerous hit songs that generated hundreds of thousands of streams and has an incredibly diverse catalog of music. He's also the man that just beat 63 other artists in the Matty Ice competition to win a $5,000 prize. We got the Real Khiry in the building.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
What's poppin'?
Thank you again so much for coming on, bro. We really appreciate it. But
thank you for having me.
We'll just jump right into it, man. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, but again, let's stick with the most recent. You just won the Matty Ice competition, bro, like that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now that it's all settled in, like, how are you feeling about it all?
Life is life. You know, the competition was great. I love the platform that Matty Ice has created. During that time period, I was mad thankful, and still I'm mad thankful. So like, this is life. I mean, I think being thankful is more than just, you know, realizing when to do it. It's a lifestyle you have to live and remember even when you're feeling down. So that was just one of those days where everything went right, and I knew it was God-given. I knew it was God-given way before, and I literally wrote it down.
Yeah. Did it hit you right away, or like did it take some time now that it's 2 weeks out? Like, are you now feeling it?
No, it hit me right away because it was just such a realistic manifestation of what I had already been speaking about. What I had already written down in my notes a month and a half prior to, and then what I've been talking to some of my friends about. And not like a quote unquote humble manner, but just more so in a understanding, like, no, I feel like this one is in my bones. Like, this one's for me. Like, and there was no denying it. And of course, as a human, I had my questions, but and even then, like with some of the artists, because there were amazing artists in that lineup, like Rue, V the Ruler, I mean, you know, Lord, there was a
it was stacked. It was stacked, bro.
Yeah. Cash Loud, I mean, Face Capone, like, you know, amazing artists. So James St. Patrick, like,
yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I call him St. Patrick, but yeah, James Patrick. I'm like, that's a white boy killer.
St.
Right
Patrick.
there. He's St. Patrick. But yeah, so I'm just, again, I was excited then. I'm still excited now, and I'm moving forward in life and trying to make sure I use that resource for the right things.
What were your thoughts like leading up to the competition? What kind of mentality did you set in?
So when I first entered the competition, I knew I just had to I had to come up with a lineup, and I'm like, this is a song competition. So at that point in time, I was like, I have records. Records is what I do. So like, this is my world. I sat there with my phone and I wrote my notes. I wrote 5,000 winning lineup at the top of the header. And I looked at it, I was like, nah. And I kind of like backspace and I deleted it. And then someone was like, no, but $5,000 winning lineup.
Yeah. So
I did that. And then from there, I sat there and I kind of went through my records that I had, you know, released and unreleased. And I created my lineup, you know, 1 through 6, and I didn't change it.
Were you feeling like nervous at all or anything before the competition, or?
Definitely. I mean, yeah, definitely. So, I mean, good nerves though, because I was ready to get up there and do what I do. I love being on stage. I love performing.
Yeah.
So I think nerves are essentially a perception of how you're feeling. And again, so it was good nerves for me. I was ready to go. It's ready to rock.
Like you were talking about, you were setting up like which songs to pick out. Again, bro, you have a very diverse catalog, and you have a lot to pick
A
from.
lot of people that didn't even know.
Like, how do you even decide like what goes into it? Because again, it's so diverse. So, what kind of went into your decision making process of picking out the select songs that you did?
I knew we had judges that were music and artists. They were artists themselves and music connoisseurs. So my biggest thing was to show the range and just show the diversity. That's how I wanted to set it off. And I knew majority of people were going to have hip hop songs. I knew the song competition, mostly everybody wants to do rap songs. So everybody wants to be the best rapper. They haven't realized like, you're gonna have to dive deeper. Even if you do want to be the best rapper, like, okay, what if you do become the best rapper? What are you going to do outside of that? You're still in a box. I've never been in a box. I've always loved all facets of music. I've listened to 40s, 50s, Frank Sinatra, rock, metal, you name it. So when it came down to that, I just really wanted to show the range. So my first song was a pop song. It's unreleased. And I kept looking at my friends and telling my friends, I was like, there's no way a rap song is beating the song, right? Like, we're just not. They were looking at me like, no, what are we talking about? Like, okay, cool. I said, I just want to make sure I'm not tripping before I go into this competition because I said, I could be wrong about everything. I said, I know y'all, everybody understands I'll be right for the most times. And it's like, only because I foresee things and I think things through, but nigga, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could really be wrong. So like, they're like, bro, just, you got it. Yeah. So the first song is a pop song. It's called Outside. It's unreleased, but it's fire. I love it. Second song was a release song. It's called Afami. So I did like an Afro beats vibe. Third song was a song that I had most recently had recorded, and that I actually added to that lineup.
Was that you?
Third song?
Yeah.
No, that was my fifth song.
That was the fifth one.
No, it was the fourth song.
Okay, got you guys. I was trying to remember which ones.
So Bounce was the song that ended up beating Sway and
Bounce. Oh yeah, that's Sway, the most recent one, huh? Yeah, that one's
Bounce. So I had just released Bounce that day too as a single. So like,
was that was planned?
I wanted to release it that Friday, the day before the competition. However, I'm so busy all the time, so I wasn't able to get everything equipped to get it on the uploading services.
It kind of worked out though. Like, even if
it worked out again, bro, God given. Like when I tell you, like when you can't take away what God got planned for someone. So it dropped on the Saturday. I was like, fuck it. I was like, let's run with it. So I got to announce that. I made it through like the first verse. I didn't even make it to the second verse, and that song that Sway and Yante have, C.O. Yante, Welcome to the Party is a banger. It's a banger. But yeah, Bounce did his thing.
Like, you had like, it's not like you was just a clean landslide either. Like, no, you had competition. It was competition.
And Bounce was the only hip hop song I did. So you got to think about that. Bounce was the only hip hop song I did. So after Bounce, I did You, which is Jersey Bop, and then I did Freeway, which is international Afro beats, and then I did Hold Me, which is like an acoustic guitar vibe, and I have my buddy Sonny on there. Yeah. So like I showed a whole range of 6 different genres, where majority of other artists only showed 1 or 2.
Yeah.
If that.
Do you think that was the main reason, like the versatility you had in the selection you chose was like
it's a song competition, but also subconsciously we're humans, so you got to understand how people's brains works and like what they're expecting when we're talking about song competition. Like, yeah, we're talking about song competition, but we're talking about like the whole company of everything and wrapped in as who you are and as a person and how you're presenting yourself as well on stage, because you can have a great song, but if you're performing it horribly or if you make mistakes on stage, you're not going to be taken seriously. So what's the point?
Yeah. And so again, Matty Ice, this is the second one he's thrown, really. And again, shout out Matty Ice, bro. He's doing big things, bro. Like amazing.
$15,000 he's done
in the last 6 months. So like he's so killing it, bro. Aside from the money too, like just all these events, God knows how hard it is. So big shout out to him, bro.
Straight up.
But the first one, you were a performer. You didn't compete.
No, the first one I did. The first one I had 3 hats on. Yeah, the first one I made top 16, and that was the freestyle challenge competition.
Why am I tripping?
No, you're good. You're good because I did a lot. The first one I hosted. I also
that's what tripped me out. You probably did so much that night. I was like, what is he doing?
I hosted part of the event. I performed for the event, and then I also I was competing. So
Okay.
I had on
So
three
yeah.
hats that
So
night.
and this one strictly competition.
one is
And look,
strictly
when you locked in on the competition,
Yep. And
you end up
especially
winning the
my
whole
world,
thing.
I felt like the freestyle competition wasn't necessarily 100% my world, but it was beautiful for me to get into because it allowed me to challenge that other side of me where I was like, I don't necessarily always run to rap and hip hop when it comes to music making. So that therefore, like, I knew this was going to be 100% that. So I was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Yeah.
So I made top 16. I made it where people didn't even think that, I was going to. So
Yeah.
and I still think I would have got my dog Doobie if I would have if I'd have just performed better, but my best support wasn't there.
Yeah.
I kind of slacked on what I needed to say, and
Doobie's a dog though.
I love Doobie.
He's so good.
Shout out Big Doobie. He just dropped the album, Big Cactus. You know what I'm saying?
Go.
Get that. Yeah.
Go. Yeah.
Would you do the competition again though if you had the chance?
The rap one.
Yeah. Like let's say there's another one that's coming up. Like would you do it again, or now you're kind of like sitting back and you're just gonna spectate the whole thing?
I think I don't know. I think it depends on where I would be at. I already have enough on my plate. So as far as like that type of competition, where I know I'd have to take my focus and put it somewhere else versus what I really want to stay focused on now, would be working out of the direction I want to go. So I don't know if it would help me. It just depends on like, is it beneficial for what I'm doing now?
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
And what did you spend the $5,000 on? Have you spent it at all? Did you invest it or anything?
I mean, stuff has definitely been spent. I caught up on like little debt things, bills in here, and then I took some of my friends out to eat from when we, they all supported me and shit like that. But other than that I really want to put that towards putting a showcase together. Well, not a show, a concert. I want to put like 4 of my friends on that I know are really, really great. They have company, and give us a platform to put on a show. Have the live band out. I want to put on a big concert. So
that's
that's
what's
going to be. That's put towards making happen, and merch.
Are you currently planning on doing that right now?
Yeah, we were already planning on doing that beforehand.
Okay.
However, I even spoke with God and I was like, you give this to me, I'm using this money for I just felt like all the way in my bones, that's what the outcome was going to be. I was going to win, and now I got to keep my word and do what I really want to do for it.
And you've been bringing it up a little bit already this episode, and I hear about it all the time, manifestation. And it sounds like you're a pretty big believer on manifestation, but like we hear it all the time, and sometimes like people will try it and they don't know like the right way to do it, or maybe like things aren't working out so they lose belief. What is your ideology on manifestation? How does that work for you, and what do you think, like, is there just a one and done way to do it, or is it just like whatever works for you would work?
God first.
God first.
Like there's no realization of manifestation and making things happen without God first. Because I mean, you can do the 3-6-9 rule all you want to. You can write things down all you want to. You can imprint things into your subconscious all you want to. You can at the same time think about, okay, if I think about the thought of me not having money, or if I sit on the thought of me having money, you also have that opposite thought of you realize you don't have the money right now. So which is your subconscious taking in? And you don't know for sure, but you could be lying to yourself all you want to, but you don't know for sure. Again, the only way to really be able to manifest effectively is through God, and like to be able to understand when life gives its curves and its curveballs and things like that, to understand like, okay, rejection is protection. Sometimes, you need to move out the way. You got something better else planned for you. Hey, maybe you need to take this little L this time. You learned a lesson, and guess what? Now you're able to win the next time. You know what I'm saying? There's different ways where your manifestations will come through, and then before you know it, you're sitting in a position where you're like, I asked for this. Like there's so many days, like even now, there's so many days where I look back, maybe 5 years ago, I asked to be able to sit in a studio and record. That's what I wanted to do, sit. And now I'm like, I've been in that position long enough to be able to just sit in the studio and record, mix and master my own things, and do what I need to do in order to make my music what it is. So that's God first.
That's what it comes down to.
God will take big things out of your life to put in greater things, and you won't even realize it at first. But once it happens, you'll then realize that's really how it does work.
You get lost in it as it's all happening, and even with the you get lost in the factor of what you don't have yet, and you forget how much has been coming in, slowly but surely. And that's why it's always like you have to get back and be thankful and be grateful. And that's why I said it's part of a lifestyle rather than just doing it when you're that one and done. There is no one and done of doing it. you'll trick yourself into believing that it's not real when you do that one and done, because you'll try something, give up, try something, give up, try. If you're doing it for those key things, what makes you think that person's going to be able to capable of like trying to start a business without them giving up? You're not even trying to stick. Part of manifestation and part of being grateful and having a relationship with God is discipline too. Discipline is the greatest factor of your manifestation. So like, I think where people get it confused is they think manifestation is the thought process and the energy process and just all of that, and the astrophysical. It's part of that too, but it's also part of that work and that labor of what you need to be doing in, and it all needs to work hand in hand and for it to come into fruition into the 4D.
Damn, that's a good message.
Yeah, I mean, God will always lead you through the way. You know, like I've always heard this metaphor where like God is the captain, you're gonna be the sailor. You're gonna be always putting in that work, but He'll be the one to guide you over to like the right spots. You know, you'll realize that like the things that you got to sacrifice, they'll bring in better things too. So you get lost in the process.
And it's
of
dope
it,
to
like,
see again, like the success of it. Like after you see it as well, it hits so much different because you're like, man, I worked so hard for this, and it finally paid off. So
that I would say that's the one thing that that win gave me personally was, of course, I had heat and stuff going on before the tournament, and even those people, like, they got to eat this. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are people that y'all got to eat this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to eat this, bro. These are people that you're my personal fans, and then you turned and did what you did, and you got cut off, and now you are what you are, and here we are, and you got to eat exactly what I've been showing you, preaching, practicing, not preaching because I don't like to preach, but at least when we have conversations, you got to see it in real time, where you can't do something to someone and then not expect for God to put them on a pedestal when you became their enemy for no reason at all.
And I'm going to assume, which is a question I had for you, that you're talking about maybe a specific artist in mind. Again, it made big headline about like the beef that was going on between you and Fahwill. If I'm correct, that's the one you're kind of talking about. Again, he's been on our show. We've had him on, and he's been a great person to us and supporting, and we have nothing but love for him. But we kind of want to hear from you because, again, when I saw that headline, I'm like, oh, whoa, what the hell is going on?
Right? Yo, so, Christmas Eve. I said, who wakes up that angry on Christmas Eve? Yo, who wakes up that angry on Christmas Eve? I said, niggas ain't even open presents yet. What the fuck?
It caught me off guard, and I was like, all right, this
caught you off guard. Shit, I didn't even look. I woke up.
He probably opened up his phone. And was like,
no,
what the fuck, bro?
My first of all, I was spending. I wasn't even going to be on my phone that day. I woke up, so I hadn't even been on my phone at all that day. And my girl was like, "Have you seen Instagram?" I was like, "No, I haven't even been on the phone all day." I'm like, "We're just driving." I forgot where we were going. And she's like, "See what Matty posted?" I was like, "No." She's like, you might want to go see it. So I go look, boy, I bust out laughing. I said, yo, wait, huh? So I'm driving, I'm like, okay, all right, hold on. So then we finally get on, because this is how much I don't care. The internet, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I know this man in real life, dog. So he could say the same thing, but it's very two different perspectives. We have very big different groups, and we have receipts, so we don't want to do all that. Anyway, so I get home and I look at what it was said, and I'm like, and you deleted it? I was like, so you said all that and deleted it? That was your first mistake, buddy. I was like, first of all, if you're gonna say something, you gotta stand on business. I said, you seen how I handled it. I mean, I think everybody saw how I handled it. I didn't even like go for the attack on him. I didn't try to, I left it at how I gave him the same energy from when I cut him off. Mind you, I cut this man off 2 years ago. So also, mind you, last tournament, he was all, hey, bro, hope you're doing good, bro, when he performed at the last tournament. So I'm like, and I acknowledged it. I wasn't being a dickhead. I wasn't being mean. I said it was cordial. Said, I hope you're doing well too, XYZ. 3 days, Matty Ice posted me and the friendliest kid, whether we should be first seeds or not. And I just kept seeing him post, like, comment, nobody cares about number one seeds. Number one seeds don't mean anything. Fahwill, #Fahwill, right? So I'm like, why are you trying to get my attention for these first 2 days? Why are you trying to do that? So then Christmas Eve happens. So I'm like, oh yeah, you really want my attention. I'm like, you've been posting little subliminals the last 2 days. I ain't said shit to you. Now you really want my attention. You deleted it. That was your first mistake. You can't stand on business. You look like a goofy. Sorry. Now you already lost. I'm like, you already lost the tournament now. I don't care what you say. I'm like, you can't do that and then run and then be like, oh, your girl watched my stories last night, so I thought I thought, I didn't want to cause any issues. I said, you already posted it. You got caught once. And then someone else said something. Why you delete it? My manager wanted me to delete it. They already think I'm a bully. I said, no, he's just the same lying ass nigga that he's always been. It's okay. I mean, it just is what it is. Life sucks when it's, true. And if you got the shoe on, you gotta wear that motherfucker when it fits. And Lord Phoenix went out there and did his thing, beat him first round. He had to leave. He didn't even stay to watch the tournament. And then you had to watch me win again.
Yeah, damn.
That got deep as fuck.
Damn, no, I just wanted to, because again, like, it came to a surprise to me, so obviously it came to a surprise to you. Like,
it came to a surprise to everybody.
So
they
it came out of the blue. It wasn't really like a.
People thought it was fake because
it could be artificial, of course, for marketing purposes, but it wasn't. Like, it was completely authentic.
That was totally left field. He thought he wanted to take it there, and I mean, like, after 2 years, you're still upset that we don't fuck with you.
And if I don't know if you want to get into it, but like,
it's deep, bro. It goes it's a deep. Story. Like, we'll be here having a podcast for like 2 days. You might want to book
so
the episode.
It goes deep. It goes deep. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, again, you showed out, bro. You did your thing, and did that like fuel you a little bit, like what he said, or because you guys were in the same bracket, but not obviously competing against each other immediately. So, what was like?
Here's the thing, again, bro. Like, I mean this wholeheartedly. I move with God. Like, I mean that wholeheartedly. So when I knew, this is why he even got upset for real, because I knew he was going against Lord Phoenix when I seen the bracket. And then I tagged, me and Phoenix been talking to each, we've been rocking with each other the last 5 years. Like, before I even moved here, he knew about me because I was on tour with Roscoe Dash. So we've been locked in. We done a couple songs together, albums. I don't watch his whole glow up, and I loved it. So that's my dog. So I seen he was going against. I was like, he happened to be going to Fahwill. I assumed that me and Phoenix were going to be in the finals of our bracket. That's just literally how I saw it, how I called it. I said, salute Lord Phoenix, I'll see you in the finals. That's when he took it upon himself to have his attitude and throw his temper tantrum. So I'm like, you really just wanted my attention. You did all that to get the attention. I didn't acknowledge you. You did that to force the hand of the attention. You wanted free promo. You're not getting it, regardless. So when you already know that you have someone beat mentally and you're in their head rent free, you don't take that karma of what God's already given, that torment with that he's already created his own hell. I don't relish. I don't find myself happy of him going through his own personal hell over the situation. That's not the case. However, I am human, so I can stand on business when I be like, nigga, I told you so. Like, what you thought this was? You thought it was a game? No, I'm protected. And for good reason. It's because of how I move. I move properly and I treat people right. So also with that being said, moving into that competition, I didn't feel the need to move with an energy of like, no, I'm big boss dog. I'm the number 1 seed. Never that, but you never fighting again. You never underestimate your opponent, and that's something that comes with that nature. And so I bring that nature into me as well when it comes to the artistry. In any competition, you never underestimate your opponent. Of course. So I move with the consensus of, we got this. We're gonna go out there and do our thing, and we're gonna do it to the best of our ability. God got you on this one. Yeah, and that's what it happened 6 times in a row, and he had. Everybody kind of like had to watch that. This is my time to get those flowers. Yeah. And I'm thankful.
Be honest. Do you think when Matty posted that, it instigated the situation a lot more or no?
Like, because you knew what he was doing.
Yeah, because you knew what Matty was doing when he posted that. He obviously wanted some attention from it.
I don't think he wanted the attention for that. I think he knew damn well. Matty's my dog, right? Matty's my dog. Like, again, so like, he's not gonna let someone talk shit like that and then let them slide off and try to hide their hand. Yeah. That's how I saw it. It just so happened to be a part of this competition thing, and that was a component. So whereas just like with the last situation with the rap competition, with Dylan and Coke and Chris Coke.
Oh, yeah.
That was natural too. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And it just so happens that this came from a real space of personal business too. Yeah. Again, he tried to throw a rock and then tried to hide his hand. And that's what really brought the attention his way. If he wouldn't have deleted it, if he would have stood on business, I think it would have still kind of went the way it would have in a sense, but it wouldn't have looked as bad and he wouldn't have looked as goofy. You got at least stood on what you said and you didn't. Yeah. So I mean, for you to say something about the number 1 seed, that's again you going into a competition and say, I'm gonna break the number 1 seed's jaw, first round knockout, 30 seconds. Of course they're gonna be like, wait, you're gonna what? And they're like, wait, no, I retract that. I was drunk last night. It was in my feelings. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I took too many shrooms and I just wasn't thinking right. You know what I'm saying? So like at the end of the day, like,
and from a fan's perspective, it was super.
That shit was entertaining.
I can't lie. I'm like, this is good.
From a personal perspective and knowing the situation, it was fucking entertaining.
Yeah.
I was laughing the whole time. There was not one time where I was like, I was upset, frustrated. I was thoroughly enjoying myself. I said, oh, I got time today.
Because it was good. Because I'm going to be real, like, in the last event, with, like you said, Dylan and Coke, there was that beef. This one, I felt like it was really peaceful. Like,
their shit was heated because he knows, bro.
Yeah.
He knows the receipts I got. He knows what I got. He knows the certain positions we don't put him in.
Yeah.
And I even told him, like, when he was always thankful and X, Y, and Z, I'm like, bro, it's not even me. Like God's just allowing this situation to happen. So
yeah,
I'm just glad I'm able to help you out in this situation. And like, without putting all of his business out there and shit like that. I did a lot of that, and my friends in their situations helped him out in certain situations. And character shows, and character will hold up on its own, and you can't hide your hand. You can't hide your ulterior motives all the time. Your character will expose yourself.
Yeah, we were just curious about what happened. Again, like we got love for Fahwill. Like he's been nothing but good to us. I was just curious to see your perspective on the whole thing.
I wish the best for him. I hope he goes to therapy and gets his shit together.
Do you wish for this beef to continue, or do you want to just like squash? Do you want to squash the whole thing?
No beef for me. This nigga chewing on steak by his own. What beef?
Yeah.
Like what beef? Like for real, to be honest, like you're not on my tier. I was an idol. I'm still an idol. I live in your head rent free. Bro, like, it's okay. I don't want to be mean about it. You want to be my friend still. So like without you being an asshole and without me getting into my ego, just stop being an asshole and like live your life, and I won't have to let my ego present itself, and we could be cool, and I can let it go. I can peacefully continue living my life.
Yeah. Shoot. All right. Well, we appreciate that. That clears it up.
Give us content.
But I'm curious then about the other artists. I know you were giving them the flowers, but like, what were your honest thoughts about some of the other artists there?
Oh man, I got some real people up there, but my biggest surprise before the competition, who did raise the alarm for me in my head, and before I had to be like, okay, no, we're locked in, we got it, right? It was Rue from Tucson.
Yeah,
I think she just moved here to Phoenix. Amazing singer, like yo, blew the house down. I said I had to tell her the other day. I was like, you're a future Grammy winning artist, bro.
Like that.
Could sing. Like she reminded me of Adele. Of it, just maybe I would say more of an alternative Adele.
Yeah.
And her performance was on point. I remember doing my homework on her, and I was like, ooh, I'm glad she's not in my bracket. Because she was a problem.
Yeah.
Rue was amazing. Kaj Loud, he came out with some, like I want to say his third, fourth song. The one before he had to go against me, and the one that he used against me. Amazing pieces of work. I already knew what Sway had. I already knew what C.O. Yante had. C.O. Yante, of course, we know is an amazing performer. Like, if it was a performance contest that we're talking about, like,
he's nice.
Niggas would have been in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's beating a backflip 6 rounds in a row. You know what I'm saying? So, a double backflip at that. He's like, can I do it again? And dancing the hit to the cha-cha. Like, C.O. Yante is amazing.
Yeah. Was there any like real beef at the event or not? It was just pretty chill. Like everyone was just peaceful. You know, it was cordial.
Artists are sensitive about their shit. So like, I think people forget that artists are sensitive, bro. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't care how the rapper is sensitive. I don't care what he's talking to me. He's talking about, betrayal, keeping his guard up, who his girl done fucked on, or like X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
That comes from all those things, those negative things that make you feel sensitive and be aware of your surroundings and who you let in. So like, people forget that artists are sensitive. There's no real beef there. And people looked at even us and trying to see what was going on. He passed by my section. He was him and dude, and it's 30 plus of us. So.
Yeah. But it's cool to see again, you guys are all coming together with your art, and it's just a dope event, because at the end of the day, like, the right winner won, but still it was dope to see a showcase of every single person's skills. Because it's again, Arizona, like, it's dope how Matty's putting on for the city.
Vida Rula, because we don't get to see enough Vida Rula out here in Arizona, but seeing him on stage and watching him rap the way that he raps is always phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Be The Rule is great. So what Matty's doing for the platform is
amazing
for all the artists around.
So moving on from the competition, and we're gonna go more into your music. Do you have anything planned for like 2024 or anything so far?
Yeah, definitely. So I really want to make sure we do the concert later on this year. So
do you have a date planned for that? By the way,
no date planned for it. In my mind, it's June or July.
Okay.
That's where the goal is for. I already know I have a couple different things like artist retreats and things to go to with a couple different DJs before that. So that's the biggest thing. Definitely dropping a lot of music. And I've been questioning whether I'm going to end up dropping 1 or 2 projects this year because I just have a lot of music, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
have you usually been just like 1 a year album?
Yeah. I mean, I started out with the single route and that was nice. And then it was like, okay, I got to a point where I think, people wanted a body of work from me. So then I dropped After Dark, the EP.
That was fire.
Thank you, bro.
That was so good. It's probably my favorite one, to be honest with you.
Thank you. It was like the EP was like 6 or 7 songs, and I was just like, I'd seen how well it did. I said, oh shit. I said, okay. I said, I did want the body of work, and I think it was about a month or it was like 3 months later. I dropped the deluxe. I was like, y'all want more? I got a lot more. I was like, I got a lot, and I just started mixing and mastering all of my music at that point in time. So I was like, I got more. So then I dropped the deluxe, and then the deluxe went crazy. So I think Drake dropped the album too. Not too long after that, we both had 21 songs on our album. He had 6 stars on his album on Apple Music, and I had 6 stars on mine. So it was like, that was a feat for me. And
that is really cool.
Now it's like almost at 500,000 streams. So for After Dark,
that
was
which again, great body of work, bro. That
Thank you.
Amazing.
That came from a lot of heartbreak.
This makes a lot more sense.
Okay, so do you plan on staying in Arizona, or do you think like you'll just go wherever music takes you?
At this point in time, I think like Arizona has been a hub for me. So like since I moved here from Atlanta, I really enjoy it. And again, it's a nice in between LA, Vegas. So why not? So at this point in time, it's just like go wherever music takes me. And I have the great relationships in the clubs. I MC for all the clubs around here. So it's like, why not have a great studio situation? So at the end of the day, it's more so like keep working until we do have these situations where we're back on tour again or back on the road.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts here, like Arizona and the music scene? Like we talked a little bit briefly off camera, but like Arizona's growing a lot. I mean, now it's finally starting to be a little bit put on the map, but maybe I'm biased because I live here. But I mean, what are your thoughts overall of how it's looking now and maybe like the growth of Arizona in the music scene?
I think there are amazing artists here. Like, people sleep on Arizona as a whole. Even I think some of the people that are here that want to talk about Arizona, I think they sleep on some of the actual talent. They end up talking about it more than actually going out there and searching and finding and actually putting some of this talent on certain platforms. There's more than people just rapping in the late night bars and things like that. There's real artistry going on out here. So for the people that do more talking about it, I just say go out, get in the streets, and go look for it because it's there. It's not all just on the internet, but I mean, it's out here. There's a lot of amazing artists out here.
Yeah,
I love it.
Do you look up to any artists? Because again, like you're so versatile and like your sound. Like where did your sound come from? Did you start as a rapper and now you've kind of moved into this like different genre? Who do you look up to? Like who do you even listen to?
Everybody.
Yeah, that shows.
Everybody. I started as a singer. Just as a child, my mom and my dad, they loved music, music advocates. So they were always singing. So I loved to sing. And then, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, I was like in some type of choir thing, being involved there. Middle school, I was in like show choir. High school, I was in the advanced show choir, traveling across the country for certain events and competitions and things like that. So singing and poetry always went hand in hand. And then like, of course, like there was rap there because it's in our culture. So, I just always loved music more. Like I loved instruments, I loved harmonies, I loved stacking, I loved all of that. So rapping was cool, but then of course you get out of high school, you be around your friends more, you growing up, you having this different mentality of what being a man is, and I'm out in the streets and this and the third. So, and I was out in the trap a lot. So like that's what I seen kind of like working for more people. So I think I knew I always had what I wanted to do as far as my sound, but I was in a place where I was doing what others were doing and I was finding my way through it. And then eventually I was able to break away from all of that and really do what I wanted to do and build my sound. And that all came when I went on tour. And I was on, like I said, I was on tour with Roscoe Dash. Yeah. And that allowed me to just broaden my pen. You know what I'm saying? Like work on more music, work on movie situations, sync placements, things like that. So that felt good, and I've just advanced since then.
And is your main focus at this current point in time still music? Because again, like you're doing a ton of different things. Like, what is your main focus of 2024?
Shit, I wish I knew.
One of those things, yeah.
Because it's music for sure. It's music for sure. I find myself, you know, I'm in the clubs Thursday through Sunday. I'm on a mic. It takes away from my actual like singing voice, so that sucks. So like. I would say that's even taken like a cultivation into where a lot of my music is came from too, because I've been forced to use my voice in a different way because I'm on the mic all the time. Essentially, how you look at it, I'm on tour every weekend.
In a way, yeah.
Thursday through Sunday is on tour, and then for me to have the audacity to go use my voice Monday through Wednesday, and then start the cycle over again. Yeah, you know. So like, with that, music is always going to be the focus, and that's just something I think just plays in the entertainment factor. Yeah.
When you first started out music, I'm assuming you let your parents know. How did they feel about it? Like,
what's your plan B, son?
Okay, like, you know, that's how it goes in entertainment.
But do they fully support you now with what they see?
They definitely support me now. It's a different, like, as soon as I got on tour, all the way up until I got up on tour. So like, I got on tour, and then it was a different outlook for them. It was like, okay, well, we just hope, you know, you're able to take care of yourself and, you know, do this and X, Y, Z. And they're just being parents and caring. And they come from a different, you know, generation. So like understood, but then also it was like, you see people with parents that have all the utmost faith in their child before they're even 3 years old. And then they take their all and they put in their child. And next thing you know, their child is famous by 17, able to handle, you know, societal pressures because they were there for him and able to understand. Like, it's just, unfortunately, you know, everybody can't have that life. Exactly. It would be nice in a perfect world, but that's how they were. Yeah. Just like and typical parents.
It's a blessing it worked out for you again, bro. Because like it is always good because your parents don't know, right? Like my dad's 50 years older than me. Yeah. Like he doesn't really understand this stuff. But thankfully, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, they do care about you. That's all it is.
That's all they're trying to get across.
Exactly. They just want to see you succeed in life.
It's hard when you're going out because you're like, man, why don't they support me? Like, but I know it. Why don't they know it?
And then they're like, and even now, like, it's always great now. Every time I get on the phone, they're like, you know, we haven't said it always, but like, I just want to let you know, I'm proud of you.
That's amazing.
Like, you don't need to be in the tabloids and X, Y, and Z to know that you made a success out of this thing. I'm like,
that's huge.
Yeah, like, so yeah, that's a big thing. He's proud, you know, she's proud. I got to do a show in Atlanta not too long ago.
Oh, that's sick, bro. So, that's where you're from. So like, you're talking about coming back to your roots,
and not only that, like going back to, it was kind of around one of the circles where I was doing a lot of the emceeing and performing out there. He owned the club. Like a guy that was renting these spots to give artists a platform, he now has his own club. He bought a club. And so I ended up being able to perform at that club. Didn't even know until I looked up where I was performing, where I was being booked at.
Oh, no way.
And I looked and I was like, this nigga. I hit him up. I'm like, yo, this is Dream. I said, yo, we performing at Dreams Club. We performing at my nigga spot. I said, oh, we going home, nigga. I'm going home. So like, so it was great. I hadn't been back in 5 years, so it was really great to go back home and do a show, spend time with family, and just like totally unplug from everything out here. I didn't know how much I needed it.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. And one of the last things we wanted to talk to you about, man, we've talked about it a lot on this podcast, but we wanted to pick your brain a little bit on it. AI in the music scene, artificial intelligence. Yeah. It's growing rapidly, and obviously there's a lot of talk about it. I wanted to see, coming from someone in the industry, what is your thoughts on AI in the music scene?
Dangerous. It's dangerous because, like, again, like, I'm sure you guys seen, like, that Netflix episode.
The Black Mirror?
Yeah, Black Mirror. Black Mirror. It was the newer one with Eva. Or was it, who was it? Was it Eva? I don't know, but her character was being played, and she was being played out in real life.
The Netflix thing, right? The new season. That was crazy.
Right. It was. So like how she signed over her image, that's kind of like her image rights for the AI image to do it whatever it wanted, wherever they so chose it to,
without even knowing. Yeah,
that's the same with, you know, the voice and with lyrics and things like that. So I think it's dangerous. I think it's cute and fun to like want, you know, make certain people sound like you and be like, oh, if this person sound like y'all listen to that, but like also at the end of the day, I think it's dangerous once we get into like licensings and who gets to use it, what is it used for, why are we using it?
Did you ever see how some dude blew up on TikTok? His name was like Ghostwriter or something. He made like AI songs with Drake.
Yeah.
You saw that one?
Yeah.
That was crazy to see, honestly.
Again,
Because
like, as a fan,
they thought it was
They
real.
thought it was a real Drake song.
And
yeah.
if you sound close enough to him or know how to mimic that voice, you're gonna be spot on. So
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like as a fan, I'm like, oh great, finally, like these artists are sleeping.
Yeah.
We'll just make AI of their music.
Hey,
So as
yeah.
a fan, it's great.
Yeah.
As an artist, I can only imagine like, yo, bro, whoa, like
What you can do, what you'll do to the industry is just pretty catastrophic.
Yeah.
Almost kind of like what streaming did. You know.
yeah, that's facts.
It'll tear down a whole construct, build a new construct, and it separates. So I think it's dangerous.
Do you think it could be a positive thing? Thing so
Yeah,
like,
I think a lot of things have a double-edged sword to them. So
that's what I'm saying.
That's how I
like,
say like it could be cute and fun to like play with and like, but I think that comes with where are the parameters of how we're using the AI voice technology.
Have you
I was.
ever? Sorry,
you want to? Okay, I was thinking more of like if artists were to retire and like like some artists their voice goes out, things like that, they can't sing anymore. They could use AI to be able to make new songs with their old voice.
Maybe they could do a partnership deal or something like that.
I
I think probably figure out logistics.
I think that's different because then if that artist feels good enough about the ordeal and the AI technology is up to par and they like it, there's no reason why as a business person too they wouldn't want to make any money from that.
Yeah, actually think
true.
about it. In a way, they could like never retire now because when they're done, when they're ready to give it up, they could just sign a deal to have AI.
But again, you got to bring in the record label too because does the artist have those rights? Do they have the masters? Will they even get that money? Or does the record label own everything? And are they going to sign everything off? And now the artist is left with nothing, and they got to go re-record everything. But now they're asked out because they don't have a voice.
Yeah, a lot of logistics to work out. Yeah, it's just so fresh, you know. So
and again, I think fresh things are always like they're fun. They're fun to like see what are the boundaries and limits. But when it comes down to taking away from what people do in a negative manner, I think that's where we got to be like, okay, we got to build parameters. Everything has its positive and its negatives. Drink too much water, you drown.
yeah, that's true. Hey, have you played around with any Real Khiry AI or?
No, I haven't.
Nothing.
Don't worry.
You're not. Are you? I was gonna say, are
No.
you curious? You're not like
My phone probably has done something, but like literally, like when everybody was doing the AI covers and pictures and stuff, I was like, nope, I'm good.
I don't blame you.
I'm good.
I don't.
You
blame
just want to.
Plus,
I didn't even download Pokemon Go.
Stop.
No way.
Very
What?
serious.
Come on, bro.
I watched everybody else enjoy themselves.
I know you're not an old.
That
head
was
like
such a
that.
fun
I'm
game.
not even
bro.
an
I
old
can't
head
even lie.
game.
I played Pokemon. I didn't download it on my phone though. I said, y'all gonna help the Chinese. No, but to be serious, I was like, I didn't have no time. Everybody was playing Pokemon Go around. I said, well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's around the time where I was really like diving into learning how to teach myself because I'm self-taught engineer. So I learned how to mix and master and get the quality of music that you hear now just by being in the studio and doing that.
That's
doing my
dope,
shit.
bro.
so dope.
Well, again, I mean, we're looking forward to all your projects you're dropping, bro. You've just been getting bigger and better. And again, congrats to you on winning the Matty Ice competition, bro. You deserve it. You worked for it. And then it was a pleasure getting to know you, bro. I really appreciate you coming out and sitting down with us.
I'll be back.
For sure.
I'll be back.
And
Next
the shoes
time.
episode. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, man, that's all we had for you. Are we?
Yeah, I think we're good.
I think that was a great episode.
Go
bro.
get the new single, Bounce. It's out now. The single for that, Southwest, last project, Almost Time 2, is amazing. Go get the body of work. I hope you guys enjoy it like everybody else has been enjoying it. I'm not big enough yet. Make me famous. And let's keep going.
We'll link it in the bio.
All the links for Khiry's in the description below, as well as ours. So go give us a follow. But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, thank you for coming out, bro.
Thank you so much.
Leave a like, subscribe, share it around. We love y'all. We will see you on the next episode. The Heatin' Up Podcast is out. Peace.